It begins not with a bang, not with a missile, but with a whisper. A silence in the capital where there should be screaming. Ouagadougou is holding its breath. The air is thick with something dangerous, something invisible. It is the scent of betrayal. And what you are about to hear in the next few minutes will not be found on your evening news. It will not be trending on the platforms they control. Because if you knew the truth, the real truth, you would not be afraid. You would be furious. Listen to me closely. There is a man, a young man, a captain. They said he was too young to lead, too inexperienced, too fiery. His name is Ibrahim Traoré. And right now, as you sit in the comfort of your home, they are drawing circles around his name on a classified map. They are finalizing the date, the hour, the bullet. Because Ibrahim Traoré has committed the only crime the empire cannot forgive. He said no. He said no to France. He said no to the old colonial hand that has choked the Sahel for 6 decades. And for that, he must die. But they will not be honest about it. They will not send a general to announce a coup. They will not sign a treaty. No, the West has learned. They have perfected a new kind of war. A war without uniforms. A war fought with keyboards and satellite links and carefully worded press releases. They call it information warfare. But you and I, we call it a lie. A vast, coordinated, million-dollar lie designed to paint a patriot as a butcher. And if we do not see it, if we do not scream it from every rooftop, then Burkina Faso will burn. Let me take you inside the conspiracy. For weeks now, a coordinated storm has been brewing. You have seen the headlines. The BBC, Al Jazeera, Human Rights Watch. They have been printing a number. A terrible number. 1,800. They say the Burkinabe army has killed 1,800 of its own civilians. 1,800 mothers, fathers, children. Read that number again. Let it settle in your stomach. They want you to feel disgust. They want you to demand action. They want the world to look at Captain Traoré and see a monster. But ask yourself one question. One simple question. If the army was slaughtering civilians in the streets, why is there no video? Why is there no mass grave that independent journalists can visit? Why is the only evidence coming from the same Western capitals that lost their uranium mines? Because this is not journalism. This is a script. And the script is old. It is the same script they used in Libya. Remember 2011? Remember Muammar Gaddafi? First, they said he was killing his own people. They said he was a madman. They showed you grainy footage. They marched to the United Nations. And then the NATO jets took off. Then the country was shattered into 1,000 pieces. Then the slave markets opened. Then the weapons flowed south into the Sahel, arming the very terrorists who are now cutting off heads in Burkina Faso. Do not tell me history does not repeat itself. It does. It wears a different mask, but the hands are the same. Those hands are now reaching for Ouagadougou. Let me tell you what is really happening in the forests of the north. The Burkinabe army is not killing villagers. They are hunting. They are hunting the jihadists who have turned the bush into a slaughterhouse. These terrorists hide in the deep forests, in the triple border zone, in places where no camera crew dares to go. And in those shadows, the army is fighting. They are dying. They are losing young men every single day. But the BBC does not film those funerals. They do not count those bodies. Why? Because those soldiers are the sons of Burkina Faso, and their deaths do not fit the narrative. The narrative needs 1,800 civilian ghosts, because only 1,800 ghosts can justify what comes next. Intervention, a coalition of the willing, humanitarian protection corridors. Call it whatever you want, but we have seen this movie before. First, you dehumanize the leader. Then, you criminalize the army. Then, you declare a humanitarian emergency. And then, finally, the foreign boots hit the ground. French special forces, American drones. They will say they are coming to save the people. But the people of Burkina Faso are not asking to be saved. They are asking to be left alone. Have you seen the streets of Ouagadougou? Have you seen the crowds? They do not carry pitchforks. They carry portraits of Ibrahim Traoré. They wave Russian flags, yes. They wave Chinese flags. They wave Iranian banners. Because the people understand something that our intellectuals refuse to accept. They understand that when France is angry, it means you are doing something right. When the United States sanctions you, it means you have taken back your gold. When the Western press calls you a dictator, it means you have refused to kneel. And that is the real crime. The real reason for this plot. Follow the money. Follow the veins of gold that run under this land. Follow the uranium that powered French reactors for a generation. Traore did not just kick out the French military. He renegotiated the mining contracts. He took back the natural wealth. He said that the blood of Burkinabe miners should buy Burkinabe schools, not Parisian penthouses. That is the unforgivable sin. You can be a dictator as long as you play by the rules of the empire. You can be a strongman as long as the central bank remains in Paris. But the moment you break the chains, the moment you call a spade, that is when the whispers start. That is when the leaked reports appear. That is when the Human Rights Watch press release lands in every newsroom in London and Washington. And now, the final stage, the military stage. Because the propaganda alone is not enough. They have tried to weaken him. They have tried to isolate him. Now, they are testing his defenses. Just last week, at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning, the radar lit up over a Burkinabe air base. The technicians watched in disbelief as unidentified aircraft violated sovereign airspace. They were not commercial. They were not cargo. They were drones, surveillance drones. And when the Burkinabe air defense systems locked on, when they fired the warning shots, those drones fell from the sky, burned wreckage in the desert sand. Whose drones? The government did not say, but the markings on the fragments told a story. Western manufacturing, Western encryption, Western aggression. This is not paranoia. This is not conspiracy theory. This is the reality of a small nation that dared to stand up. They cannot invade openly. Not yet. The world is watching. Russia is watching. China is watching. So they do it the new way. They do it with 1,000 cuts. They fund the opposition. They arm the separatists. They pay the journalists. And when the army finally defends itself, when it fires back at the terrorists who are armed with NATO-made weapons, yes, NATO-made weapons found in the hands of Al-Qaeda, they turn the camera on and they cry, war crimes, 1,800 dead. Let me be very clear with you. This is not about truth. This is about permission. They need your permission. The average citizen in London, in New York, in Paris. They need you to believe that Captain Traore is a butcher. Because if you believe it, then you will not protest when the intervention comes. You will nod sadly and say, someone had to stop the massacre. And while you are nodding, while you are changing the channel, the French paratroopers will be securing the gold mines. The American advisors will be sitting in the presidential palace. And Ibrahim Traoré will be on a plane to The Hague or in a box back to Ouagadougou. But here is the truth they are hiding. The truth that the BBC will not print. The truth that Al Jazeera will not air. The Burkinabe army has not killed 1,800 civilians. That number is a fiction. It was generated by the same think tanks that justified the Iraq War. It was spread by the same reporters who told you that Gaddafi was handing out Viagra to his soldiers. It is a weapon, a digital weapon. And like all weapons, it is designed to kill, not just bodies, but the soul of a nation. Do you want proof? Look at the cities. If the army was a death squad, why are the markets open? Why are the children walking to school? Why are the taxi drivers honking their horns and blasting music? Because a nation that is being massacred by its own army does not look like Burkina Faso today. It looks like Gaza. It looks like Tigray. It looks like a place where the streets run red. And the streets of Ouagadougou are not red. They are dusty. They are lively. They are free. They want you to believe that Ibrahim Traoré is isolated, that his people hate him. But every morning, as the sun rises over the capital, the young men gather outside his residence. They chant his name. They call him the Lion. They say he is the first leader in their lifetime who looks like them, who speaks like them, who fights like them. That is not the sound of a collapsing regime. That is the sound of a revolution. And the empire is terrified, because revolutions are contagious. If Burkina Faso succeeds, if it expels the foreign forces and secures its resources and builds its own future, then what stops Mali? What stops Niger? What stops the entire belt of the Sahel from rising up and saying, no more? That is the nightmare keeping the generals awake in their air-conditioned headquarters. Not terrorism, not poverty, sovereignty. So they have activated the final phase, the assassination plot. We have sources close to the presidential security detail, who have confirmed that foreign intelligence services have made contact with disgruntled officers. The offer is simple: a fortune in offshore accounts, a safe haven in Europe, a new identity, in exchange for one bullet, one moment of betrayal. They have tried before. A grenade attack near the presidential convoy, a poisoning scare in the kitchen. But Traore is careful. He is a soldier. He sleeps with one eye open. He trusts no one except his own men. But no fortress is impenetrable. No leader is immortal. And the wolves are circling closer every day. This is why we are speaking now. This is why the message must be carried beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. Because if the world is silent, if we allow this lie of 1,800 dead to stand, then the intervention will come. And when it comes, it will not be clean. It will not be humanitarian. It will be a slaughter. They will call it a restoration of order. But we will call it what it is: a lynching of African dignity. You have a choice tonight. You can turn off this video. You can scroll.